Hey everybody, this is Jay back with another video, and the title of this video says I'm going to be giving you reason why I wouldn't recommend using a mass storage device, say like an 8 terabyte hard drive that you can get at Walmart or anything like that, for your game library, okay? Because I had someone ask about my FireCuda one. Um, there. And it's actually this one right here, that FireCuda drive, okay? I wouldn't ever recommend one of these FireCuda drives or any mass storage drive like an 8 terabyte or whatever, because they're all slow spinning hard drives. If I was going to recommend anything, it would honestly be an M.2 storage like this. This one goes through USB-C. All right. But I would recommend one of those, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Ooh, perfect spot almost. But like I said, I would not recommend one of those. And the big reason alone here, if I shrink this back down, as you can see here, this one on the right, this one here is the mass storage device, the FireCuda 8 terabyte drive. As you can see, it's 7.452 gig. These are the speeds for that drive. 200 megabytes roughly for the top four, and then it drops drastically. Now, when you go to an M.2 NVMe USB-C drive, you get something like this. And that is drastically better and would be perfectly fine for game libraries. You can tell the difference. The top one is over 800 megabytes more. Next one's down around 600 megabytes more. And then it's still higher all the way through. Really, the last ones are drastically higher. 40.92 to 0.67 or 78.35 to 2.09. So if you look at these, are drastically better than, say, your standard spinning disk hard drive. Even if it's a hybrid disk drive, they're a little bit faster, but there's nowhere compared to what these actually are. And you can see these, this 290.02 to 2.10, and then 274.63 to 215. Okay, that's a massive difference. And this is a ROG Strix Aerion. That's what that logo is right there, the ROG Strix. There's no, they don't come with a gray. I was playing with a paint marker. But if I eject this, let it eject. Okay. I can actually show you how these things work. Like this one. It's got a little case on the outside. So what you end up doing, you just pull this little case off. It's like a carrying case because I do take it places with me for mass storage or whatever. But you got a little pinhole down here by the USB-C. You take your like a SIM ejector tool, pop it in there, and this bottom panel just falls right off. And as you can see right now, I have a 2 terabyte Western Digital Black in it, as you can see. But that's all it is. I mean, you can take the drive right out pretty easily. You can use the back of your SIM ejector tool, and then just unscrew it the rest of the way. You can put any size in here that you have the money to buy. So if you need more than 2 terabytes, you could buy a 4 terabyte, put it right in there, and you got twice as much storage. But as you can see, that's all that's in there. Just a 2 terabyte NVMe SSD. And if you want to get a little bit cheaper one, I would suggest Gen 4, not the Gen 5 stuff, because this is not a Gen 5 drive since it's going through USB-C. But you could literally have a game library on this and it would be perfectly fine. But someone mentioned in my review of the FireCuda drive that I use for mass storage for my drone videos. That's why I have that. That's all that I really use it for in pictures. So they're not sitting on my C drive, which is another M.2 drive, which I can show you in just a second. I'm just screwing this back down. But yep, it's just you screw it back in, That little screw right there after you put it in the slot. And then you just put the outer case back on it. It's pretty simple. These are pretty nice. If you don't have one and you need to transfer files and stuff like that, I would definitely suggest one. They do come in handy. And it's just quicker than a USB drive or, or anything on that line actually, except for maybe the new the new micro SD Express might be about similar speed to that. That's what the Switch 2 takes. I only have one of them right now. But if I go in here, actually I could download Crystal Disk Info because I don't think I have that on here. No, I don't, or it'd be right up on my desktop. But basically, all these other drives, except for what's the big one? 8. That's G. So yeah, you can see this is a Seagate right here. If you look at it carefully, you can see that the icon next to it matches. But all these other ones are M.2 SSDs. Actually, one of them is a regular 2.5-inch SSD, and it might be the one with tanks, but it's still much faster than the other one. If I come in here, run that again. Chris Mark 64. I think it might be F. Let's see how F is. Actually, I could find out this way, actually. Oh, yeah. Properties. Maybe it won't tell me much. NFTS, yeah, they're all going to be that. I know one of them. Oh, right here. Okay. This I can tell. I think it's this 870. I don't know which one that is, though. One of them's might be D. Let me try and test D real quick. All right, we're going to do a quick test on D so I can show you what the write on that will be. I think that's the other regular drive. Yeah, okay, that is it. This is the other regular 2.5-inch SSD, so it would basically go like this. You really should have like a game library at least on a normal SATA SSD, because that's still drastically better compared to a spinning hard disk, as you can currently see already. All right, as this continues, but basically, like I was saying, I got the mass storage device for drone files and stuff like that. All extra files I don't access too much. And any old files that I just don't need as much. But wait for that to finish. The random 4K is actually close to an M.2 drive, which is kind of cool. But you can drastically see how much better M.2 drive is over the other. And pardon my eating there. Didn't want everybody to listen to my chewing. It's almost done. But as you can see, the far left here is the M.2 drive is the fastest one. A regular SATA SSD is still drastically faster than the last one, which is a spinning disk hard drive or any of your mass storage 8 terabyte CUDA drives or anything on that line. They do have some that are like SSDs that are portable. Those would probably be in the middle range if you wanted to get a portable SSD. They do make those. Walmart. Like if you were going to get something and I suggested anything that you could get at like Walmart, if you search portable, yeah, 2A's. Portable hard drive. If I was to suggest anything, see anything like this that says HHD is a spinning disk hard drive, I would not suggest it. But something even like this one for $59, although it's only a 500 gig, is actually fast because it is an SSD. I would suggest something like that. But I don't know about On stuff since it's a Walmart brand. If anything, I would suggest for a portable drive, you can get this one. It's a 2 terabyte if you can find it. That is a it should be a regular SSD, SATA SSD. It says NVMe, but that's well, no, yeah, if it's 1,000, yeah, that should be accurate. Because my M.2 is 1,000 off of USB-C section. Let me see one more thing. If I come in here, I know my C drive is a regular SSD. Let's test that real quick. The C drive itself is an M.2, and it's the closest one to the CPU, so it should run very fast. It should, yeah, be the fastest. See, when you're getting a regular M.2, these are the speeds you should be getting, this middle one right now. And in that case, this would go this way. An M.2 on a USB-C would be this way. We'll come back to that in a minute. But I would suggest something like this if you wanted to drive. That's 2 terabytes. It's not bad. 160. I don't know why it says 80 each. It don't make sense. It's probably $160 since it's a 2 terabyte drive. 3-meter drop protection. And it's SanDisk, so it's a good brand. It's reputable. Okay, this is where it's limited right here if you look at the bottom. Right here in the middle now. The read speed's 1,050 and 1,000 megabytes because it's USB. USB 3.2, that's the max speed for that. If you're going with a regular M.2, as you can see, it's drastically better than everything else. That's why all of my storage, except for one drive, is M.2. But it's drastically better. One megabyte sequential, I think that is. And then you got 4Ks. But as you can see, it's a whole ton better than even a portable, because this is still an M.2 drive. This is 2 terabytes, but it's limited on its speed because it's going through the USB-C. But if you need a portable drive, these are the way to go. Anything like that, something similar. Yeah, I would even suggest Samsung like this if you're looking at getting a portable drive for um, game files. Let's go back to the other thing. But as you can see, this is drastically better even than the M.2 in the USB-C, better than this. That drive is right there when it's straight M.2. You can see the differences here. It's actually quite a bit better. All right, I wanted to put this video out there because there were some people that had some questions about my mass storage device, and they were asking if I would recommend it for a game library, and I definitely would not. You can see that this one here is just speeds for a mass storage thing that's like 8 terabytes. If it's a regular hard drive, it's going to be crappy. Loading times are going to be much slower than everything else. A regular SSD, like a SATA SSD, is still going to be better. It's going to be in the 500 ranges. And then an M.2 in a USB-C enclosure is going to be this speed, and then the fastest is literally going to be the M.2 in a computer.